Tabben versus Jerimuno. I think Tabben came away from the New World Championship with just as much clout, Age of Empires clout, as Diaruga did. I think he's got a very good story from the New World Championship. I think he's earned a lot of cred, so to speak. Street cred. What is that taunt? This will
22?
give me cred. Street cred.
I think that's taunt 22, but I could be wrong.
Okay, let's try it. Only you and I can hear it.
This will give me cred.
You're right.
Street cred.
That one. That's the one.
Like I said, I'm always right.
You are always right. I shouldn't doubt you. Spawning in the bottom of the map in the color blue. Tabben in the India. There he is. His opponent, Jerimuno, in the color red, playing as the Russians. India versus Russia on this game number 1 here. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, we did see this matchup earlier today, right? Didn't go very well for Russia.
It didn't go very well for Soldier, who played this. Soldier is quite happy to be really aggressive as France and Germany and do these rushes, but then he plays Russia and decides to send 700 wood first and be really greedy. So, I think Soldier's unpredictable, and I like that about him. I think that's, he knows what he's doing, but not how we traditionally expect Russia to be played against India, or really at all.
Yeah, I suppose it was a little bit unconventional. I don't think it was too outside of the box. But anyway, talking more about this game.
Right.
75 food going to be picked up for Tabben. That's going to help him get that age up in a bit more quickly. Looks like he's actually going for a 10-10. So he's prioritizing that age up time over villagers. So he'll lose out on about 2 villagers doing this. But as a result, he'll be up very quickly and won't have to worry about any sort of early aggression from Russia, as he'll be having units out very early as a result. So a little bit of a trade-off there, but seems like it might be all right. Meanwhile, on the other side, Jerimuno doing normal Russia things, just going up with 14 villagers, and yeah, I don't expect any deviations from him. I will refrain from my biased anti-Russia casting this game, as I've done earlier today. But yeah, the Aggro Fort now going down for Tabben, villagers being switched to wood, and that house now being constructed. So he will be up very, very quickly, as I have already stated.
Yeah. Going to be up quickly. He's placed the Aggro Fort. It's on the way up there, but Russia going to be following up quickly with 14 vills. I suppose, though, when you're up against Russia, you do need to be wary that they will be aggressive and get your Aggro Fort down ASAP. Quite close, quite in base, starting to bring that food in. I think Tabben, even adding walls in, he's realizing that yeah, he needs to be careful.
Yeah, he's really respecting the potential aggression from Russia, going with the 10-10 and the walling. So he doesn't want to risk losing anything to the early 5 Cossacks or possibly being idled out of control by the Strelets. And yeah, going to be dropping down even more walls on the other side of the Aggro Fort. Just be totally 100% safe.
Yeah, really, turtling up, making his base very well protected. Going to pick himself up the homunculus treasure. Going to be quite good. I think that will be quite helpful. Maybe Russia won't... This is an exceptional treasure, right? Like, as soon as he gets the homunculus, he's going to be looking for that Aggro Fort, blockhouse, and that could be a real thorn in Jerimuno's side. Yeah,
that's a rough treasure to deal with, especially when he's only sending 2 villagers forward instead of the usual 3, and he's aging a little bit late. So that blockhouse is going to be up pretty late, all things considered. However, he is putting it sort of in maybe a spot that's a little bit unexpected, going to be harder to scout. So it's possible that he will get that up safely and be just fine. Yeah. He's also placing it close to this trading post, so he might think about going for the trade line and grabbing Stagecoach. So it gives him a couple of options here.
Deletes it.
Okay, I guess he noticed that the Hominka was picked up by Tabben and decided he didn't want to even attempt to build that blockhouse, didn't want to risk losing any extra resources.
Fair.
So
what was he going to do then? Build it in base?
I think so, yeah. There it is. Blockhouse going to be going down next to the town center.
Wow,
so
the homunculus was enough of a threat that it didn't even find the blockhouse, and he was like, nah, I don't want to build it there.
Also, I think the age up as well, the early 2 Sepoy might have been a little bit scary. Like 10-10, if Tabben had really been on top of scouting and being active with those units, he could have maybe caught the blockhouse before it went up and just killed the villagers or something like that and denied the blockhouse.
And even if it does go up, all these walls and the far stage, Tabben's prepared for a rush. Maybe just doing it in base and not being quite as aggressive will be a bit better for him. But either way, you know, Tabben's not going to have to deal with that now. And I suppose that's good for him. He's actually up in eco, 20 vils to 16 for the time being. I suppose it is on Russia to really make something happen and do some damage there. But Hunting Eagles was coming in, now cancelled. I imagine going to get Civil Servants first, actually. But Jerimuno, what's he up to? 700 wood coming down. Okay, this makes sense, given that he's had to block house in base, right?
Yeah, it certainly does. I wonder if he maybe is, with this defensive blockhouse now, if he's thinking about adapting into some sort of semi-FF. I think, as I've mentioned a lot in past times that we've streamed together, that India tends to struggle against fast semi-FFs and the early 2 Falconets, and could be potentially a good alternative here to the being aggressive style that we usually see out of Russia.
Doing a good job of kiting this treasure. 70 food, going to pick that up nice and easily. But Jerimuno, let's take a look at his units in queue there. He's now gathered up all that 700 wood, and I'm interested to see what he does with it. 2 trading posts, or a second one now going down, and of course he's got his steel traps and now placer mine. So that's what he's doing with the wood, but he's not going to be able to get a stagecoach because, you know, these are on opposite, different trading routes, right? That's an interesting feature about Tassili, I think.
Yeah, he's not going to get the stagecoach upgrade, but yeah, the extra XP though, if he is going to be going up to Fortress, which to be honest at this point it looks like he is, with that 700 coin coming in now and most villagers on food, that is going to give him a lot of high value shipments in the Fortress Age, so seems like a good investment.
Ottoman Consulate from Tabon.
Hominka being sent out for Tabon, just trying to find out what's going on, as he's seen nothing from Russia yet. Yeah. Hasn't seen a blockhouse, hasn't seen any Cossacks or units, so he's got to be a little bit concerned that he is getting tricked, and indeed he is.
Yeah, he wants to know what's going on. I don't even think he saw the blockhouse that got deleted, so it's not even like he saw that to know what was going on, and that Jerimuno turned back to go home, but the homunculus coming in, see what he can find. He's going to see a blockhouse in base, and he's going to see these 2 separate trading routes on the different routes, so he'll probably have some indication. Certainly going to see these blockhouses, though.
Yeah, and he might be able to deny those. The Explorer heading down there to try and defend that. Looks like Hominka's not even going to attempt to deny those. He's just going to wander on home, and yeah, Jerimuno going to be up to the Fortress Age in just a few seconds, and Tabon, he's stopped all military production, foreign logging coming in for him now. Oh, he might just be stopping because he's housed. Some sepoy being sent out now, but I'm not sure what they are planning to do just yet. Maybe just going to go siege the trading post at the top of the map there, try and draw some attention away from his base. But no, going to be sending them back home. And it looks like he is going to be trying to follow Jerimuno up to the Fortress Age, but that's going to take quite a long time, looking at how many resources he has left and just how long it takes in general for Asian civs to construct that Fortress Age wonder.
Yeah, it takes a long time to get up to the next stage, but Jerimuno, as you said, already up. 700 gold has gotten him there, and now has those 2 forward blockhouses. We'll start to see him pumping, I think, very shortly. Let's take a look at Jerimuno's deck. He's got a shipment ready. Has now just sent it, and is over-popped, so suggests a military shipment there. Perhaps 20 strelets. No, he's cancelled it now. I wonder what 20 strelets. Okay, it was. There it is. Has a second military shipment then on the way, I expect.
I think so, yeah. With the 2 trading posts there, I imagine he has a lot of XP. And that veteran strelets upgrade going to be coming in. Looks like he's not feeling confident enough to push out just yet.
No units in queue just yet, though, Mitoe. He's sort of just shipping units.
Yeah, he's kind of housed at the moment. 65 population in total, 64 of that being used. Houses going down now, but And also, he's also researching the veteran upgrades at those blockhouses. So, but now 5 cavalry archers out and the veteran upgrade in for the Strelets. So it looks like he is going to be pushing now, and yeah, not going to actually be early falconets. Meanwhile, though, Tabben going to be following him up to the Fortress Age with the Taj Mahal. It looks like.
Get that ceasefire. Those ESOC Somalis in the chat.
Yep, and Hominka still diligently scouting the fog of war on the sides here.
Yeah.
Just making sure that he has advanced warning of any type of push, and it is going to run into the army here, so he'll spot out the cavalry archers and the Strelets.
Rest in pieces, Homunculus. But at least now Tabben will know from that noble sacrifice what is up. And it is veteran Strelets, muskets, and indeed a few cavalry archers, which are sort of posturing. They're not looking to come in, do much damage.
Yeah, it
yet.
looks like Jerimuno kind of wants to wait for maybe a 2 falconet shipment or something like that, but it almost feels like he might be taking too long now. 10 musketeers in queue, though. And he will have a pretty sizable army once those 10 muskets and the falconets pop. It's just going to take some time for him to actually be able to make use of that.
Yeah. There's 5 of them, and the other 10 muskets. Really starting to mass up here. He's got a sizable military lead here, 50 to 30, and there are 2 falconets. So this is really now double the pop. Let's see. This is where he's looking to get some work done. He's got a big army here. Let's take a look at what Tabben has. Mostly infantry, which are not going to do so well against those falconets, of course. But Tabben, he's adding a lot of walls in. He's, you know, this will slow that Russian push down, keep these villages sort of safe, these kind of things. And 7 Yurumi coming out. They're going to be good against all of the Russian infantry, but against the falconets they will have to be wary coming in.
He does have ceasefire, though, so he can actually just get up on top of that army if he really wants to with the ceasefire to buy the time there. But it looks like that Agrifor is probably going to go down unless he calls ceasefire right before it dies, so...
Do you think he will?
I don't think he will, just with the way he's posturing his army. Doesn't look like he wants to, and that does go down. This big drop of XP that goes into Jerimuno's pocket. And yeah, his army looking pretty scary at the moment. Stable going to be going down for Jerimuno as well behind this, so he's going to be looking to add in potentially some Cossacks or cavalry archers, maybe some Oprichniks even at some point.
Here we go.
Has some options there.
This looks like the ceasefire timing coming in.
Yeah, no ceasefire just yet. Sentry's just trying to snare to buy a little bit of time so you can close the gap a little bit. And there's the ceasefire now that he's feels like he's in range.
Yeah, going to try and get those Yurumis and all of those units on top of this stuff. Looks like they was going to try and pull the cannons, moving the musks forward. But now only has 5 seconds to get back in range. I think you just let the cannons go at this point. You need to stay away from the Yurumis. And pausing for a moment, the cannons are attracting the fire of the Yurumi, though. The Yurumi in the wrong place, I suppose. But now quickly getting back onto the Russian infantry. And I think this is where Tabben will clean up.
Tabben's looking really, really strong now in this fight. Getting a really good position. And yeah, it looks like he's going to be able to clean up everything pretty easily. Just looking at the military population, it is quickly dropping for Russia.
Yurumi are disgusting, man.
They're quite good units, and the Russian infantry just not good enough to really deal with that. So
quite good units for sure.
Yeah, Jerimuno in a rough spot now. He's got more musketeers in queue, but it's going to be a long time before he has an army that's capable of matching the Indian mass. And second town center being dropped behind this for Tabben, going to look to extend that economic, or extend that advantage as much as possible. And there's 10 musketeers trying to walk up, but getting caught. Going to lose 4 of them right away. Almost a 5th one. Yeah, 5 going down.
6 Opries coming in from Jerimuno. I don't know if that's going to be enough. They're going to have to get some kind of miracle raid. But Tabben's so walled up, I don't see that being very easy to do. And now 2 Mahouts coming out as well. These musketeers can get trampled by elephants, it would seem. Not ideal. Tabben's in a great spot.
Yeah, he's looking really, really solid now. Economically ahead and significantly further ahead in military. It's definitely going to be a hard game for Jerimuno to get back into, but maybe he can do it. He's investing into a lot of Oprichniks. He has like 15 right now with 5 more in queue. So he's just going to try to, basically, he's waiting for Tabben to reveal himself, and then he's going to try and maybe kill off the whole base. So that's an interesting play.
But wait for your opponent to like come to you with their units and then move the Oprichniks in and just destroy everything.
It seems like that's the case. Another 5 Opries popping.
Here we go. Oh, it's a lot of siege and a lot of villager destruction potential.
Yeah, and the type of army that Tabben is going for is really immobile. So, I mean, defending against Oprichniks everywhere might be pretty difficult for him. So, you never know. This could pay off.
I think the saying, if in doubt, are you even going to make an Oprichnik box?
I don't think he has a cav archer to do that.
He hasn't got the cav archer. Oh, I'd love to see it, though. Rest in peace, Wall.
But the Sepoy popping out from the barracks just the right time. Going to be able to defend that pretty easily.
And so, of course, Oprichniks, they do have cav combat, but not very good against Sepoy in melee. And the Mahouts have caught them there. British Redcoats coming out. Tabben, nice reactions. And he's going to just catch all these Sepoy. And, this sort of desperation play with the Oprichniks doesn't look like it's going to work out. Very well handled. Will lose some villages, but if he stays there, he will get caught, allowing these units to get into position. The Mahouts have caught them. And that really does look like the end of Jerimuno's aspirations for this Russia versus India game.
How many vills did he even kill?
Units lost.
He killed
1 villager.
Well, there's some
6 Indian villages, but they may have
at
been
the cost
earlier.
of like 30
Oprichniks.
Oprichniks, yeah, seems like a good trade. Yeah, that's well, Tabben looking to be in a strong position now with those 3 town centers and having killed a lot of units for free. But Jerimuno has a lot of musketeers. Although 35 musketeers doesn't actually seem like a lot compared to 108 military population from India, so
40 musks doesn't look so good against 48 Sepoy.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what Tabben's waiting for. It feels like he's playing this very patiently, but I don't think he really needs to be patient anymore. It looks like, oh, here we go. Sentries and irregulars being called from the town center up here. Going to be trying to snare the muskets. Jerimuno going to be trying to frantically flee as fast as possible.
It's just a classic case of I can't lose, so why should I do anything?
Yeah, that's true.
But he's going to try and finish the game out here now that he's absolutely certain that he can win. And yeah, as you say, use the Minutemen's from the town center there. Now coming in with 5 Mahouts.
He's training petards.
Who is?
Jerimuno from this artillery foundry next to his muskets right now. The petards are going to save the day in this battle.
Right, that's what they do. They have got 40% melee resist. They'll be good against those disciplined Mahouts. Maybe they just hug the Mahout and do the explodey thing.
If they did explode, potentially they could save him.
You hug the elephant and do 1,600 damage.
No, they're gonna be running for some buildings somewhere on the other side of the map.
And Mitoe, it's blast damage. It goes straight through the range resist.
That's true.
That's how it works in AoE2. They just sort of explode into units.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It doesn't do that in AoE3. They have to go to buildings. I think that'd be kind of fun. There should be like a detonate button on the UI for the petard. You like select them and he just blows up on the spot.
Give them like 6 area.
Yeah, he should definitely do some area damage. Yeah, he's gonna take down the TC though.
100 HP left on that town center. So the Explorer was coming in to try and finish it off.
Let me rephrase that. He's almost taken down the TC. A valiant effort.
People don't like residing today.
No, especially since we've got another one of these to go, and I don't think it's even worth starting.
I think people know that I have to leave, and so he says sorry. Okay.
GG. Oh, we've got 20 minutes. Do you want to give it a go? And then just as soon as half past runs around, I think you just run off, and I'll finish up the game at whatever point we're at.
Could do.
Because it might be another quick Tabben win. Maybe. It's up to you. I mean, if you've got get your stuff together or something, then don't worry about it. But yeah, for those wondering, Mitoe, this is his last day in the UK. He's with me here in the studio. There he is. Going back to Canada tomorrow, to the frozen tundra that is Yellowknife. Northwest Territories.
It is pretty cold.
It is pretty cold.
But at this time of year, it's actually quite nice, so...
Yeah, I guess it is summertime. Yeah, I'll give you that. Next up will be Wadmalor. Tabben, I've seen him play quite well on Wadmalor. Let's get into this real quick and see if we can...
Yep, and we're not going to waste any time civ dancing, as civs have been pre-selected.
Yes.
So it's going to be British for Jerimuno against Tabben for Tabben's Germany.
It's pretty good for like a one-day event, right? You save a lot of time because you know what the matchups will be. Okay, let's get into this. Maybe we can finish off this series before Mitoe has to go. But if not, then I guess you'll be jumping up and heading to the train station, which is fair enough. Your phone's all charged up. That looks good. Ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the bottom of the map in the color blue, we do have Tabben. Jerimuno, pardon me. Playing as the British. 300 would start. It's what British wants to see. It's also what Germany wants to see, because that means they get 200 wood. And that means they can build a trading post, Mitoe.
Yeah, but Jerimuno could also build a trading post and then go for Virginia Company.
Hot damn.
Yeah, both players have good options with the wood start. Jerimuno or Tabben going to be scouting the coastline. Looks like with that canoe, going to be looking for those treasures. Does actually spot the 5% population treasure, which is absolutely an amazing treasure.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to take, especially if you have the
population cap of whomever recovers it by 5. Well,
it's a 50 wood treasure. It's great.
Yeah, it's like a house.
Yeah.
And in the late game, it's even better than that.
And the canoe is close enough to help out with that, so that's going to be a really nice pickup for him.
50 wood treasure. Yeah, with like added bonus. That's actually quite an interesting way of... I wonder if like you can trick the game into giving you 1,000 population by picking up that treasure like 100 times.
Just make a scenario and put down like that treasure.
Well, it's a nugget. I could probably find the tech in the editor and just make it active like 100 times. Yeah, that's probably a way around it. I don't know. Who knows? 70 food, though, going to be picked up. Pretty good treasure for Jerimuno as well. His canoe, though, is going to be fishing. Or actually, it's idle. But either way, it's not being used to gather treasures just yet. But going to go for 70 food. I think that's, yeah, both going to get 70 food treasure. A pot of blueberries worth 70 food to both.
All right. So it looks like Jerimuno opted not to go for the trading post, just going for the 2 manors. Try to age up as early as possible. And not using his canoe, which makes me a little bit sad. Tabben using the canoe both for fishing and for getting this treasure, so getting some good value out of that. Jerimuno just forgetting that it exists for the time being.
It just goes to show, right? Like, Tabben, he knows what's up. Tabben is
Tabben's
on
Jackman.
form. Tabben's Jackman, yeah, that's right.
But looking at the decks, Jerimuno does have the option to maybe go for some water play later on. Of course, that didn't work out last time we saw that against Germany, but you never know.
No, it didn't work out super well, did it? But has got a frigate, 2 vels, and offshore support as well as naval gunners there, and schooners. So I wonder if that will be something he considers sending. 3 villagers coming out first, and now is switching all his villagers over to wood. Oh, he is aging, right? I wondered what the hell was going on there for a moment. He's now going to, in transition, gather up the wood, and we'll see what he intends to do. Didn't send, or didn't build a trading post, so probably just going to stick with standard Brits.
Yep, that seems to be the case. And he's going to be going up with the governor, that is the 200 coin, and the outpost. So going to be trying to, well, just use that tower basically to control some extra resources on the map. And 1 villager actually going pretty far forward, maybe just to build a manor for line of sight, but could also be for a forward base.
Yeah, we'll see what he does. Perhaps the tower will head this way as well. He's going to build a manor there. Jerimuno, though, going up with the governor, as you said. Pardon me, Tabben going up with the quartermaster, as we'd expect from Germany. Market now going down during transition. Walls. Okay, so going to start to wall up this choke here as Germany. I guess that's, why not? I'm just going to build it up to the coin mine? Really? Okay, so that's a hardly any wood, right? Just a tiny wall, but it forces all of the units, if there are any raids, to come through this side where the market will see them. It'll be hard to pop through, and the trees and all of that stuff. So you don't have to wall off the whole thing. That seems like quite a worthwhile wall. Maybe he gathered slightly more wood for his steel traps than he intended to, and thought, oh, okay, I'll just spend it on a tiny wall segment.
He's actually still leaving one settler wagon on wood right now. So I wonder if he's actually intending to build more walls. Or he's also positioned his explorer next to this trading post on the western side of the map here, so he's probably going to drop down a second TP with that 400 wood. But yeah, I'm not actually sure what he's intending to do at the moment. Could maybe just be looking to go for some kind of fast fortress or something. And he's not going to know what Brit is up to because his explorer is so far away from this forward base that it's just not going to get scouted. And yeah, dropping down now 3 more wall segments in the front part of this base, so he is just going to be trying to go for a fast fortress. No military building coming down for him at all. And sadly for Jerimuno, these musketeers are not going to walk in and stop that wall. That wall will be completed pretty safely.
Yeah, he's really locked himself in there, and even blocking off this mine with a house placement. Like, everything is super safe. Those villagers gathering the food are right under the TC. The mine is pretty safe here. Everything is pretty safe, and these musks coming forward of Jerimuno, they're going to be thwarted by this wall, and I think Tabon just isn't really going to care. Spots it very quickly, and is going to get those villagers. Yeah, those settler wagons are not even in range, he thinks. Just going to leave them there. No overreaction at all. You saw that, Rex. I don't think Tabon did.
No, he didn't. But it was just, I guess, just preparation. Like, you know, there's no reason not to build the wall, I guess. It's only
15 wood.
Yeah, it's only a handful of wood.
Plus some villager seconds, yep.
Yeah, like, he's got 700 wood now. He's got no food, really, so he's not actually going to be able to age. He
Settler wagons? Settler wagons? Settler wagons? Cutting it
almost
fine.
losing one.
Cutting it fine.
Yeah, but Tabon actually not a lot of resources at the moment to actually go up to the fortress age. Going to be calling the Minutemen. Probably going to have to drop a military building with this 700 wood. So I'm not sure that things are quite working out the way he wanted them to, but he's still okay for the time being. Going to be a little while before he's up to the fortress age, though.
Yeah.
Stable going down for Jerimuno as well.
Well, and now only starting to just spend this 700 wood. Barracks, couple of houses there. Going to rebuild some of those walls with the wood there, but, you know, stockpiling a lot of it, and it's not going to be overly useful to him until he is, you know, indeed in the fortress age. Jerimuno, as you said, is building a stable. Going to quickly clean up these Minutemen's. Rip.
Yep, and Tabon rebuilding the wall at the front there, so he's still committed to aging up. Still not quite enough resources for it, but it is the plan.
Jerimuno coming in with 6 musketeers after 700 and 600 wood. So, what's the plan here? That seems like, you know, I'd usually expect to see like 5 vills here, but Jerimuno, he's got a different build in mind. He's
well, I mean, he's seen that there's no units from Tabon, and he's seen these walls and stuff, so he wants to make sure that he can actually make something happen here. But yeah, it's looking like he might be waiting a little bit too long. The 8 crossbows going to come in, be able to defend the wall.
Yeah, and
pretty easily.
This is one of those times where crossbows are actually, you know, quite good behind a wall. That bit of extra range is going to be good.
Could be using the canoe right now to maybe drop off behind it, but the wall will go down fast enough anyway. The Hussars now added in, going to be able to clean up those crossbows once they get through here.
He has got a dop in queue, but I am a bit afraid for those crossbows.
Whatever happened to Tabon's canoe? He must have lost it at the town center or something.
Yeah, it seems like it. Is he going to pop dops, though? Because those crossbows are very, very vulnerable.
I don't think he queued that until just recently, so no. And yeah, all those crossbows going to get cleaned up. And then looks like he spotted the settler wagon and the Ulans, so going to pick up the Ulans, try to get the settler wagon down. And he's going to get a fair bit of damage done before Tabon can reach Fortress here.
Yeah. He's going to pick up that villager. But Tabon, you know, ultimately did manage to get that age up in queue, as sort of we expect Germany to be able to do. And he did force the British to send 6 muskets.
Oh, 3 dops popping.
3 dops, okay.
I don't think that's going to be enough, but...
That's interesting. I wonder why he did that.
Maybe he felt like maybe he could pop them out on those muskets and finish them off. But 5 more reinforcing muskets coming in at just the right moment, thwarting that plan.
Yeah,
and yeah, this is looking like a really good situation for Brit now.
Yeah.
Although, well, actually, Tabon, I don't think Tabon has any shipments either, and all these settler wagons now really at risk of falling. One does go down. Probably a second one going to go down.
Yeah, Tabon's, this is not looking so good for him.
Tabon's not so jacked, man.
No, Tabon's not is not looking quite so jacked, is he? And having spent, you know, a shipment or 2 shipments on, you know, 8 crossbow followed by 3 doppelsodners, he's not going to have that kind of follow-up in the Fortress Age that he needs to protect himself. And I don't think there's any shipment he can send that deals with this. Skirmishes are going to get gobbled up quite quickly by those hussars.
War wagons.
Yeah, war wagons, that'll kind of work, I guess, with the few skirms that he's training here. But there's, yeah, look at this, splitting off the muskets in all different spots. Wherever they spawn, it's going to be able to catch them. But it's bleeding out a lot of units versus this TC, though more muskets streaming in here. And Britain has the British have a great economy behind this as well. 700 coin coming in for Jerimuno. I think we'll be expecting a Tabon shipment very shortly. Or do you think he's going to get the TC down? That would be really
No, I think the shipment is going to pop out before the TC goes down. I don't know if it will be able to save it. Yeah, there's the war wagons popping out. Not popping out in the best spot. One of them's going to get picked off immediately. The other one, yeah, it looks like they're all going to go down. It might be enough, though, to save the base.
He's fighting with the Minutemen's. And that's going to help him tank a little bit there. Skirmishers doing a good job of focusing the muskets, which is what they need to be doing. And now there's settler wagons trying to get involved. But he has killed all the hussars, so to his credit, the skirmishers can now kite all day long versus these musks, and I think he has actually cleaned this up, Mitoe. But the trouble is, behind it, the British have a really big economy, and actually sending Minutemen forward as well, just to really put the nail in the coffin. Hussars coming forward, there's only 1 war wagon there, and I think Jerimuno is going to be able to clean up those skirms and continue sieging this town center, which is very low HP.
Yeah, there's another shipment on the way for Tabon, though. He might be able to get it out before this town center falls. Minutemen, of course, not high siege. Can get picked off even by Vils popping up for the TC, which he's doing right now. But that last war wagon is going to get picked off. It has nowhere to run. And town center very low, but yeah, I don't think it's going to go down fast enough, though. There's going to be another shipment coming, likely to 8 skirmishers, but with reinforcing hussars coming in, yeah, this looks like it could be bad for
8 skirms,
Tabon.
but yeah, the hussars are already here and now on top of those skirmishers, and I think that really is going to be up. 15 Vils in that TC for the last few minutes have not been gathering at all, and I don't think you can continue from here. That shipment curve's going to slow down, and each time this shipment has come out, Jerimuno has dealt with it.
Yeah, and did manage to clean up the hussars, so he might be able to scare away the muskets. Town center getting sieged a little bit more, down to 600 HP now. Those skirmishers will be able to save it, but some more reinforcements going to be coming shortly from Jerimuno, I imagine. No shipment on the way for Tabon at the moment either.
Okay, Tabon holding on by the skin of his teeth, right? This is... that has to be it. How can you go on from there? Muskets now on your last 2 skirms.
Yeah, I think this is probably going to be the end of the game. The 3 hussars coming in to clean up the skirmishers, going to be getting onto those settler wagons in the town center, below 300 HP. No shipment on the way for Tabon, and it's going to go down. And that's probably going to be the GG, but he is continuing to fight with the villagers. It's not down yet. Okay, no, it has to be down now.
He's got 2 trading posts. Oh, I guess that doesn't matter now. TC's gone. But there's a lot of Vils there. Maybe they can win him the game.
Did I say it last game? People don't like resigning in this tournament.
No, they don't. They don't seem to like resigning in this tournament.
One doppelsoldner gonna be saving
Don't
the
worry,
villagers.
I will save you. One lone swordsman.
Trying to get the wall up.
Is he trying to trap them in? There's the GG coming out. And it looks like Jerimuno will even the series out to 1-1 But I think we're going to call it there for a few minutes. Mitoe has got a train to catch, so we'll be back with game number 3 very shortly, but not with Mitoe. He is going to go get his train. And this is farewell, the toe.
Yes, it's been fun casting today. Good to see you guys again. And yeah, there were some good games and a lot of really long games that probably didn't need to be as long as they were.
There were some really good ones mixed in there as well. My favorite was what was it? Sampukonku versus Migo.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, there were some very good games in there for sure. But oh. Hi. Apparently the only focus of this scene now. So
yeah, that's right. They're probably going to Photoshop something next to you. I don't know what's something's going to
I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I don't know. But happy birthday, Mitoe. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back with Tabben versus Jerimuno in a moment. So see you soon.
All right. See you later.
Okay. I'm back. And now I'm the center. The camera has been refocused. Haven't done a solo commentary for a while. So we'll see how this goes. Mitoe's still locked in next to me. What should I could do something really funky here. Okay, let's get into this. Haz is online. Shall I ask him if he'll cast? I mean, I'm down to do it myself, but actually, I won't ask him because that means we'd have to reconfigure the Widgeon the audio setup. I'll ask him if he wants to cast the next series. Hey, Hazza. Mitoe gone now. Would you like to cast the next series with me after Tabon vs Jerry? Cool. All right. 3 slots. Mitoe gone back to Canada now. All right. Yeah. So me and my lonesome. Well, let's see how this goes. The score is 1-1. That was a fast flight. He's not back in Canada yet. He's heading back to Canada. Okay, Hazza is not available. He's having dinner and then he's got plans afterwards. Let's get into this. Cascade Range by the looks of it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome back to, indeed, game number 3 in this best of 3 series between Tabon and Jerimuno. It will be played on Cascade Range and will be Russia versus Japan. Cascade Range, a really beautiful map, and I'm really enjoying this overlay that Mitoe made. It's very simple, but the smoke, the particles, everything is quite a beautiful map. Garjo did a really good job on this, and I think the gameplay is often really interesting as well. For a low-resource map, it plays out quite differently to, say, Tar Desert, and indeed other low-resource maps. But, ladies and gentlemen, here we have, on the bottom of the map, in the color blue, Jerimuno playing as the Japanese here. His civilization of choice for the 3rd map in the pool. Seems sensible because you do have Cascade Range, and I believe, I'm not certain, the others are other non-TP maps that Japan may be good on. But Jerimuno, obviously, a bit of an Japan player. Going to be building that consulate and indeed getting those explorers out on the map ASAP. Definitely going to be favored here to Jerry. Having 2 explorers is definitely very helpful on a map like Cascade Range. All the explorers, all the treasures rather, are those really small ones. But Tabon, here he is, in the north of the map, in the color red, playing as Russia. And I wonder if this is a calculated decision to, pick Russia on maps like these. You go up against civs like Japan, and indeed non-trading posts. They do well on the non-TP maps anyway, right? Russia not going to get quite so many with the single explorer there, but as Mitoe pointed out very much earlier, probably expecting to see blocking with the rickshaw. Probably going to see a lot of aggressive stuff from Tabon, and that is indeed what you're going to have to do versus Japan. 50 food treasure. This is one of the bigger treasures. He's going to pick that up. 50 food to Jerimuno. And does catch that explorer, that monk with the hand combat there. But the rickshaw is nearby. Perhaps he can use that to break the snare. Or he could just poof, which is what I expected him to do. But has gone with that Portuguese consulate really early on. And I think the question is, will Jerimuno go with Heavenly Kami, or will he go with the 3 boats? And it's hard to say, because Jerry, even on a map like, say, Baja California, he did go with Heavenly Kami in some of the New World Championship games. He's, quite good with that style. It's what he's used to. That's what he likes to play. And perhaps that will be what he does today. Obviously, though, boats probably a lot better on Cascade Range. just given there's less hunts sort of out on the map, and it is smaller. The map is much smaller. You can hunt down those shrines much more easily. So today, not going to go with the Kami style, but is in the Yumi W clan, and that is kind of what he likes to do. But 3 boats coming out. Tabben, Distributivism, and we'll be going up on 14 villages by the looks of it. Now sending a couple of villagers forward to get that blockhouse down. In fact, going in different directions here. I wonder... Ah, this one is to herd. That makes more sense. Going to start bringing those deer under the TC. He's just going to send this female villager forward. She's going to herd 2, but also construct the blockhouse. That is quite far forward. I don't think you could get that any further forward. I think that is literally... That's in one screen, isn't it? You couldn't get any further forward than that. Tabon looking to be very, very aggressive here, as we would expect Russia to do. Going up with the quartermaster for 400 wood. Let's take a look at their decks. Jerimuno does have Heavenly Kami in there, but clearly went for 3 fishing boats. Tabon will have to identify which of it is. He'll have to see the boats. Maybe he'll be able to identify from the lack of shrines that Kami wasn't sent. Something he might want to figure out. But aside from that, nothing unusual really in the deck there. Royal Mint and Refrigeration has a bit more sort of late game focus perhaps than say Tabon's deck, which is just pure military. Interestingly, does have Spice Trade. That's a really interesting card for Cascade Range. It affects hunts as well as berries. And Cascade Range is one of the few maps that actually is littered with berry bushes. This villager gathering from that berry bush there quite nearby. Jerimuno now sending the fishing fleet from the Portuguese, and we'll be opening with a stable of all things there. Can be quite hard to mass Nagi, but can be quite strong, I think, especially against Russia, although opening with Musks doesn't lose a Vil there, does get it in the TC nice and early. But Tabon shooting the Vils on the edge, I really like that, to make sure he gets maximal walking time of that Vil to the TC, the biggest opportunity to kill it. 5 Hussars, or Cossacks rather, coming in now. And he's going to finish off these two monks. Really put a dampener on Jerimuno's ability to play shrines, but sending 600 coin, I don't think he's overly interested in placing too many shrines, so losing those monks not going to be as perhaps damaging. 600 coin coming out to get, I think, as many Nagis as he can, as quickly as he can. Villager does go down. Let's switch on over to units lost here. He's managed to kill 2 villagers, and he's belled up 17 in exchange for 5 Musks and 1 Cossack so far. So, and especially since he's stopping the coin being gathered, this seems pretty good. 2 villagers, pretty good pickup. And without idle time, let's go over to units in queue. And I don't think there'll be very many Naginata, just the 1. Calls 5 Ashigari Musks. Does manage to get 3 Nagis in queue now that he's returned to work, but, you know, not too many. Tabon going to use those Hussars to move around the map, really get the lay of the land, figure out where those shrines are. He's going to be chased away by these Ashigaris, though. He's going to save that. But he's, by the looks of it, got a little bit of black map to clean up. He's done most of it, although this is, of course, line of sight shared with Tabon. Now coming in, Strelets, Cossacks. And this is pretty good. Strelets able to, and nicely done. Tabon on point today, sees the switch into melee combat and does get away from those Ashies. Very low HP there. Not going to pursue any further. He knows that there is a stable on the board, perhaps doesn't want to pursue in case there's a batch or something like that. There are 3 Nagi out, and we know there aren't any more in queue. And they're not really going to be a threat to the Strelets here. So let's take a look. Tabon now managed to kill 2 villagers, got a lot of early damage now. Looks like he's sort of switching gear, placing down a stable with the 700 wood that he sent. Has his market down now as well. And with that wood that he's got, 486 wood there, fight in the center of the map, pardon me. Those remaining Cossacks fighting the Nagi, which is kind of what they want to do. I'm going to finish up, I think, here, though. Nicely done from Jerimuno. These two musks sort of running around. Tabben switches them back to melee, but ultimately will be enough to sort of finish up there. There are two monks. One does die. And here comes, though, reinforcing a second 5 Ashigari shipment, plus the 5 Nagi that he managed to train, another batch. And those 3 musks are going to get cleaned up here, though Tabben is going to escape, or allow that villager to escape. What happened to the... Oh, there it is. He does, though, have 10 Strelets in queue, and here are 5 musks, as well as 1 cavalry. Maybe you can get the Cossack out. Villager, though, does get caught. Jerimuno playing this very aggressive for Japan. Perhaps taking the style he's used to and flipping it. Is being the aggressor, almost. And has 35 economic population. He's 10 up on Russia. This is looking pretty good, actually. But now Tabben has got 5 Cossacks out, and he does catch those 3 Naginata, which is not ideal. Although he's going to pull that one to safety. Does get away. 13 Strelets from Tabben. He's back on his feet. There's really... the blockhouse and the stable there definitely going to be protected. Really trying to his very best to catch these units here. Almost was engaged, turning around. Really nice reactions from Tabben. Really good unit control here. Trying to close in on those Ashy Musks. Get the snare in. Allow those Strelets to really do some damage. Hand combat. Does scare them away briefly. Pulling the muskets. He's trying to pull the muskets. He's going to be able to get away with 1 by the looks of it. Moving forward. Pull again. Goes into hand combat. 5 Yumi have joined. And doesn't want to be taking a fight here. A lot of military unit population to Tabben, although a lot of them are Strelets. Just trying to disengage here. Has got, though, sentries and Minutemen, or irregulars coming forward, but the fight is happening a little bit too early. Cossacks really good against Naginata. Or, I should say, Nagi not very good against other Cav. But there will be enough of them to go through, and now just 1 Nagi left, but it won't be enough to do any kind of damage to the Strelets there. And now it's just a few Yumi and a few decaying units losing their HP very quickly. Tabben does repel that engagement over. So far, though, Japan's had to send 3 military units to make it happen. He's not been able to invest in very many shrines. But despite that, represents a higher eco. Somehow. Jerimuno on 40. Tabben on 31. Quite impressive for Japan. Only the 1 upgrade there from the market. I wonder then what Tabben's next move will be. There's no trading posts or anything like that. Only steel traps. Again, let's take a look at the deck. So I guess you just keep massing. It's got Boyars, which is going to be quite good. 5 Yumi coming out from Japan. Jerimuno really is committing to a lot of units here. A lot of unit shipments. Not sending any of those wood crates. I guess he needs his explorers up to be able to place them, so maybe this makes sense. Just make units, ship units, whilst those 2 explorers are down. I think, yeah, Tabben's plan just seems to be keep massing. Keep massing, keep massing. Eventually send Boyars. And with a big Cossack and Strelet mass, that will be really good. And I suppose that's kind of what you have to do if you're behind on eco here. Coming in. Big match. Cossacks. There are some Yambushi mixed in there. The clubs are going to be picked off quickly. There are a lot of Cossacks, which will do very, very well against these Nagi. And Jerimuno chucking a lot of villagers in there. Trying to use them to tank. Switch on over to military units here. 14 Strelets and 11 muskets. I feel like Russia has this being very diligent not to focus the villagers. He's focusing those Yumi archers in the back with his strelets, but this is what the villagers want to be doing. And GG does come out. And that will be game and match and points, or something, to Tabben. Does bring the score up to 2-1 and will be the winner there. Jerimuno just sending shipment after shipment after shipment, wasn't really able to get any shrines down and expand his eco, although did have a sort of bigger eco all game, it looked like. I guess, though, you are gathering from berries, which is, you know, you may have 40 villager population, but when you're gathering from fish and berries, it's just not as efficient as hunts. And he didn't get any market upgrades, so the Japan eco looked strong, but actually it wasn't when you're up against steel traps.